Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the Mighty Jingles. And this is a random acts of violence video, so that means it is actually with the Mighty Jingles. This is me, messing around in tanks. And messing around is pretty much what we've been doing lately. The last couple of live streams I've played, we've just given up. Given up any pretense of trying to do well in good tanks. And instead, we've just been having fun in fun tanks. And that means tanks like the Cruiser Mark IV. This little tier 3 British light tank with a 40mm Bofors gun. It's incredibly fast. It has no armour, of course, but this gun is absolutely lethal. It has a 4-shot magazine and it pretty much fires 2 shots with every squeeze of the trigger. And this is what it does when it gets you in its sights. Yeah, it's not pretty, is it? It's a great gun. You do have to exercise a little bit of trigger discipline, however, because it's one of those guns that it doesn't aim as quickly as it reloads the second 2 shots. So just keep your finger off the trigger for half a second and then let him have the rest of the magazine. And you're pretty much guaranteed to do 200 damage to everything that you fire at. And of course, since it's a tier 3 machine, 200 damage is enough to kill any tier 2 tank and enough to make any tier 3 tank wish they were playing War Thunder. And with 63mm of penetration on this 40mm ammunition, it's the kind of gun that can even make a Panzer IIJ start to feel a bit nervous if it can get around the sides. Believe it or not, this gun actually has over 1600 damage per minute on a tier 3 tank. Holy crap. And it's quick. It can have a 395 horsepower engine and it only weighs 15 tons. But of course, great though the gun is, you're not really going to be going around one-shotting everything at tier 3 or 4, or sometimes even tier 5 with a tier 3 light tank. Or are you? Well, yes you are, but for that you need to drive the Cruiser Mark II. The Cruiser Mark II is one of the other best kept secrets of the British low-tier light tanks. Like the Mark IV, it's a tier 3 light tank. Unlike the Mark IV, which gets a gun that can do 200 damage average per clip, this thing gets a gun that does 340 damage all in one go. And as that T-46 discovered, that is entirely capable of one-shotting every tier 3 tank in the game. And most of the tier 4s. And some of the tier 5s. Yeah, that was actually a full health tier 5 tank destroyer. And this is a tier 3 light tank. That 3.7-inch howitzer is what people use for shits and giggles on the Cromwell. That's a tier 6 medium. And you get it down here on a tier 3 light. The Mark II Cruiser is absolutely fantastic. Well, after tearing it up at tier 3, and I really do mean tearing it up, these tanks were absolutely hilarious to play, we decided it was time to get serious, and that meant stepping it up, all the way up to tier 4. And since we were driving British tanks, that meant the Matilda. And I really haven't played the Matilda much at all. And you'll see proof of that in a moment. But my first crew skill on the Matilda is barely at 30%, which pretty much means one good game, or a couple of average games. And I had made a serious error of judgment when I hit the ready button on my Matilda, because my Matilda is 100% stock. I hadn't bothered putting any upgrades on it. I just bought it, put a crew in it, and forgotten about it. That is the stock 2-pounder gun. That is not a very good gun at all. The Matilda can have an excellent gun. The Mark 10B 2-pounder with a Little John adapter gets over 120mm of penetration. Not the stock 2-pounder gun. Oh no. No, the gun that I'm taking in a battle in this tier 6 game has 78mm of penetration and does 50 average damage. Oh god. Yeah, and the matchmaker was not particularly kind to us when we were driving on Matildas. The Matilda's one of those machines. I've had people send me replays in their Matildas where they've been the last tank left on their team against 10 enemy tanks and they've killed them all. Not because they were any good, but because they were in a Matilda. And this thing has 75mm of armour all around. There's not many things at tier 3 or 4 that are capable of killing this thing. There's plenty of things at tier 6 that are capable of killing this thing, and we were playing this one really, really cautious. The worst thing that could possibly happen here is if we were to run into, oh, I don't know, maybe the Mark 7 Churchill? Yep, it's the Mark 7 Churchill. And it's more or less this point that I realised my massive noob error of judgment, and that I was only carrying the stock 2-pounder gun. Finally realised that there's no Little John adapter on the front of this gun barrel. Oh my god, what have I done? And of course the Churchill is not going to be alone. He's going to have tanks with significantly better guns than even the gun he has, camped up the road behind him. And here he comes. He's real. There you go. Straight through the front of my turret. Snooze in the other Matilda decides he's going to go around. And I think to myself, well, I can't penetrate this guy, but I can keep him tracked. And that's pretty much what I do. And the ammunition for this thing is dirt cheap. 40mm ammo, yeah, why not spam it? Can he hit me? Checking behind me, there's a Circon in the Valentine. And I'm just... oh, he can hit me, alright, I'll back off a little more. And I can still keep putting shots through his drive wheel, and he is not going anywhere. So come on team, anytime you like. Somebody kill him, please. Finally, there we go, thank you, job done. Stock 2-pounder gun on the Matilda may be terrible, and it may not be capable of actually doing any direct damage to a tank like a Mark 7 Churchill, but you can always blow his drive wheel off and you can keep him pinned in position. And just doing that netted me 559 points of spotting damage, so easy XP and credits without doing a single point of damage of my own. Now Snooze got himself taken out, I think, either by the SU-100 or the ARL-44 on the enemy team. And since I have absolutely no desire to repeat his experience, I first moved up using the wreck of the Churchill as cover, and then when I didn't get shot at, moved up again, staying in cover because I don't have an awful lot of health left, and well, pretty much everything on the enemy team is entirely capable of penetrating my armour. This is a tier 6 game, not a tier 4 game, and I'm going to wait for the rest of my team to move ahead and start spotting targets. So about a minute later, now remember the ARL that killed Snooze in his Matilda when he went around the enemy Churchill 7? They just popped up. I haven't spotted them myself yet. I've been shooting at this Cromwell, which Circon takes out in his Valentine, and there they are. Yep, top tier heavy tank, camping behind the tank destroyers. Oh, World of Tanks, you so silly. Well, I've got no desire to get shot at by either the ARL or the SU-100 who are camping on the hill up there. I mean, me and Circon are in tier 4 tanks. We only have 141 health between us. It's just, don't want to get shot at, thanks. But that ARL-44, watch this. Remember, I'm using the stock 2-pounder gun, okay? I've got 47mm of penetration, and I only do 50 average damage. Look at this guy. There's one. There's two. Oh, Circon penned him as well. That one bounced. There's three. How the hell? And he's just sitting there. I think he's rage quit. Oh yeah, that's absolutely fine by me. I'll just keep shooting him. Tier 4, medium tank. Tier 6 game. Tier 6 heavy tank, no problem. Oh man. Well, the laughs in this match were far from over. We spent the next couple of minutes waiting for what is probably a stock Churchill to climb up the hill so we could use him as a mobile shield, and then this Chaffee driver decided, I mean he's the last one left alive on his team, but watch this. This guy goes out in style. He's completely outgunned. He just floors the accelerator. I thought he was going for me. I'm hiding behind the Churchill. Nope. Very honourable. Well played, Mr. Chaffee. Well played. Next we're going to jump it up a couple of tiers, because no compilation of fun moments from various different games would be complete without including the troll cannon somewhere. The mighty, mighty ISU-152. There's an IS-3 up there somewhere. Do you think he's still there? That would be a yes. This gun never fails to deliver. Well, actually, it fails to deliver all the time, but when it does deliver, it is absolutely epic. Speaking of, do you think he's still there? Get a load of this. VK 3001P. I'm in the mighty Bert the Avenger, British Tier 6 artillery. Hit him with my first shot, do some damage, blow his tracks off. But then the tanks that were spotting him get killed. So, is he still there? Well, let's find out. And, yep, that was a hit. No explosion means I hit something. So, shall we go for third time lucky? And, yep, hit him again. You know, at some point, he's going to spend 3,000 credits and use his repair kit to get out of there. Or I'm just going to keep doing it. And, oh, he used a repair kit. Never mind. There's a Super Pershing. Do you think he's still going to be there? Answer to that one would be, yep. Seriously, sometimes, I mean, I know artillery can be annoying, but sometimes you've only got yourself to blame. To be fair, Bert is definitely one of the more annoying of the artillery. He very, very rarely one-shots anybody, but if you're getting shot at by one of these little things and the first shot blows your tracks off, don't be cheap. Use a repair kit and get the hell out of there. Because this thing can fire so quickly that unless your crew have got very, very good repair skills, he'll keep you permanently tracked, and he'll whittle your health down, putting shot after shot after shot into you. That's not all that's annoying about this little monster, though. Bert can hit you anywhere. Look at this. Look at that. That's an enemy tank on the other side of a mountain, hugging the other side of a mountain, and Bert can still hit him. This is ridiculous. And of course, French tank. Yes, that's right, full damage. But the ballistic arc of the shots from this little thing is just ridiculous. It can fire clean over obstacles. And if you don't believe me, what's this? So, everybody else up there has died, and I'm going to be the next victim. Unless I do something sneaky. They're never going to think of looking for me down here. But Jingles, from down there you're not going to be able to hit anything. Au contraire, Blackadder. Au contraire. Look at that. I'm at the bottom of a hole, but Bert fires a shot with such a high arc that he can still shoot out of it and hit tanks on the other side of a mountain. Is there any wonder people hate getting shot at by this thing? Look at this. I mean, I can still theoretically, even though I don't actually hit him because he's just moving too fast, but I can theoretically hit this ELC. And I've got to hand it to the ELC driver. He did at least try to go down fighting, with the emphasis being on the word try to go down fighting, when in fact, he just went down. Oops. And, well, you knew it was inevitable. It's impossible to have a compilation of fun World of Tanks moments unless there's a KV2 clip in there somewhere. This first shot, this isn't it. T-150. Strong tank. Very thick armour. Some damage, but not fun damage. No, if you want fun damage, first you have to reload the 152mm howitzer. So we're going to back up. We're going to back up. It's almost reloaded. Just a little longer, looking for the T-150, and we are loaded, and then suddenly a wild box tank appears, and he's on full health. We're going to have some of that. And he's seen me, and he's trying to get out of the way, and... and I wasn't even fully aimed. KV2. Many strong tank. I don't know what it is about this machine. I mean, I know everybody makes the joke that you don't bother aiming with the KV2. You just fire in the general direction of the enemy and the hand of Joseph Stalin reaches up from hell and guides the shot to the target. But what's this? It's a Panther. And... oh, fucking fire. He hadn't even started to aim and it still hit him. And if you think that's good, you ain't seen nothing yet. Look at this. E25. Okay, he's a tiny target, but I know he's a tiny target, so I aim, and I aim, and I lead, and I fire, and it misses and splashes him. I made the mistake of aiming. Watch what happens when I don't aim. You know what's coming. Second shot at the E25. There he is. Oh, he's backing off, and I'm moving, and it's almost loaded, but he's going to get away. Screw it, just fire. Yeah, was it ever in any doubt? KV-2, strong tank, Soviet engineering, finest tank in the world. Made in Soviet Russia from Stalin wood, powered on vodka and the tears of lesser tank drivers. KV-2 is invincible. Artillery cannot hit KV-2. I love this tank so much. And I realise it's just confirmation bias in effect. I mean, I could show you any number of games that... Oh, hang on. Hang on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait for it. Wait for it. Strong tank! I need to get a drink. Oh, the KV-2 has got to be one of my favourite tanks in the game. And the thing is, the KV-2 is not that good a tank, but it is so much fun. I mean, I'm kind of famous for that. I love the TOG-2. It's terrible. But it's one of my favourite tanks ever, because it's just fun to drive. KV-2 definitely falls into the same category. You know what else is fun? Panzer 1C. It's a bit of a slave to its matchmaking, though. If you get this thing into a tier 3 game, oh my god. Well, just watch this. There's a sort of grim inevitability. Look at that. I actually bounced. This thing ain't famous for its armour, but only one of those shots actually penetrated. And we've got them on the back foot now, boys. Over the top. Attack! 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 And one of the little bugs is trying to run away. Well, he may be in a Panzer 1C, but he's got Panzer 1Cs chasing after him. Head him off at the pass, boys. Don't let him escape. Yeah, I didn't think so. This tank is absolutely king of the roost if it gets into a tier 3 game. It's completely useless in a tier 5 game, but that's the chance you take when you load one of these things up for a random battle. I was platooned with Quickie Baby once. We're both in Panzer 1Cs, and I died, and he ended up going one-on-one against an Su-85. Now, the Su-85 couldn't turn fast enough to point his gun at Quickie Baby's Panzer 1C, but Quickie Baby was completely 100% unable to penetrate this guy, and he literally spent 3 or 4 minutes hugging this guy's arse, trying to just blow his tracks off, waiting for a KV-1 to appear and kill the Su-85 for him. It was amusing, to say the least. But if you roll the dice and get lucky with a matchmaker and end up in a tier 3 game like this, well, just watch this. This tank. If you do not have a Panzer 1C, in fact, if you don't have any German tanks, then you owe it to yourself to get some experience spent in the German tank tree just so you can drive this thing, because it is absolutely amazing. Final tank that I'm featuring in Random Acts of Violence Fun Tank Edition is the BTSV. Now, this is a very, very rare tank. It's right up there with the Panzer IIJ as far as rarity is concerned, although it's a little bit more common on the EU server now, because Wargaming EU put it on sale for 1 day only for the sum of €100 as the opening stage of their Christmas and New Year celebration. I didn't pay €100 for my BTSV, and as you can see up there in front of me, Rita also has a BTSV. Now, I paid $250 for mine. I actually went to the trouble of getting in touch with somebody who made regular trips to the Ukraine where they could buy boxed copies of World of Tanks with the gift codes for this tank in it, and he was selling them for $250 each. That's how I got my Panzer IIJ as well. Yeah, I know, more money than sense. However, unlike the Panzer IIJ, you can actually kill this thing in a tier 3 game. It only has 25mm of armour, but that armour is all sloped at ridiculous angles. This thing moves like a rocket, and the gun's not bad either. And angled at 45 degrees with that kind of sloping on the armour, that Panzer 1C has absolutely no chance of penetrating my armour. It's a fantastic little tank. It doesn't have the raw armour thickness of the Panzer 2J, which keeps the weight down, and it has a powerful engine, which means this thing can really, really move. But it has the same effective armour thickness as the Panzer 2J, thanks to the sloping and the angling. If you do run into a BTSV, shoot it in the turret. I shouldn't be saying this because it's going to spoil the fun I have in this machine, but seriously, don't try to shoot this thing in the hull, shoot it in the turret. A little T-18's trying to get around there and he's shooting at Rita, and we can't have that, so I'll pop out and kill him. And now that he's dead, that leaves me free to pop around the flank and whoops, oh, sorry about that. Oh, thank you for backing off. And I'm getting shot on the side, but yeah, that doesn't matter. Nip around the flank and all kinds of lovely targets. Yeah, you're not so clever now, you've got your side to me, are you? And while you're backing off, I'll just take care of this guy. This is an incredible tank, it really, really is. But again, unlike the Panzer 2J, you do actually stand a competitive chance against this machine. The armour is only 25mm thick, shoot it at the right angle and you will kill this tank. And if you can't shoot it at the right angle, just shoot it in the turret. But you usually can't run away from this tank. Because it moves like an absolute bloody rocket. 62 kilometers per hour, a 500 horsepower engine in a 14-ton tank. And again, unlike the Panzer 2J, it actually has a decent gun. Whenever I play the Panzer 2J, I usually lose anything between 40 and 60,000 credits, because running a Panzer 2J is expensive. You have to use premium ammunition if you want to kill anything. You don't have to use premium ammunition in the BTSV. This 40mm gun has 51mm of penetration. This thing can actually penetrate the side and rear of a Panzer 2J. It's good penetration for a tier 3 tank. Doesn't turn particularly quickly, however. Well, actually, you know, the turning circle isn't that bad at all. It's the tracks have a traverse speed of 33 degrees per second, which isn't bad. It just feels bad when you're doing 62 kilometers per hour. And that really is the only bad thing that I can say about this tank. This is, unlike most of the tanks that I find to be fun tanks, this is actually a very, very good tank. The Panzer 2J is a fun tank, but it's not a good tank. It's a very, very bad tank with overpowered armour. It's very much a one-trick pony. The armour is the only thing it has going for it. This thing, on the other hand, has great effective armour. It's really, really fast, and it's got a good gun. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this machine whatsoever. It's probably why it costs you €100 to get one. But there is strong evidence to suggest that plenty of people out there have been putting their hands in their pockets and shelling out the €100 that it cost to get this thing when it was available for one day only on the EU server, because prior to that thing going on sale for a day, that performance would easily have been ace tanker in this thing. Not anymore. Nope, sorry Jingles. There are a lot of people driving BTSVs all of a sudden and doing substantially better than me. How dare you? Don't you know who I am? But seriously, yeah. And I dare say anybody who's bought a BTSV will 100% back me up. This thing is made out of pure win and covered in awesome sauce. Well, anyway, that's it for today's video. Random Acts of Violence, Fun Tanks Edition. I hope you had fun watching the video. I certainly had a lot of fun playing the games that led to making this video. In some of, while they're not necessarily the best tanks in World of Tanks, but they are the most fun. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.